Hey guys, welcome back to our mini series, When You Already Know. If you've been living in that space where something feels off, maybe even something feels complete, or something inside you is just whispering for more, this series is for you. Today, we're talking about a place I know very well, a place so many of my clients get stuck in, and a place that will absolutely drain you if you stay there too long. It's called the gray zone. This episode will help you understand what the gray zone actually is, why it feels exhausting, why your clarity gets clouded, and how to finally get out of it. So, if you've been feeling mentally foggy, emotionally tired, or stuck between two decisions, this one is going to hit home. Let me tell you something about Sarah from the last episode, because her story didn't end with the whisper and the noise. There was a middle chapter, a chapter I see over and over and over again in high achieving women. After she told me about her knowing without actually knowing, she paused and she said, I feel like I've been living between two worlds where I'm halfway out of one chapter, but I haven't fully stepped into the next one. And I immediately responded, Oh, girl, you are in the gray zone. The gray zone is that place between the truth you feel and the decision you haven't yet made. It's the waiting room of your life, and it's exhausting. The gray zone is not clarity, but it's also not denial anymore. It's this moment that the whisper becomes undeniable, but the noise still runs the show. So a lot of times it sounds like, let's see, some examples. So I know something has to change, but is now really the right time? Or I want to start the business, but maybe next year after I've built a little bit more of a following. Or I'm unhappy here, but it's not that bad, I guess. Or I feel called to more, but I don't exactly really know what that means. The gray zone is the space where you feel everything brewing, but you have not yet made a move. And here's the tricky part. You convince yourself that you're gaining clarity, but you're actually just stuck in this mental swirl, right? One day you feel like and then the next day you don't. So the gray zone, it feels heavy and mentally draining because you are trying to live two lives at once. You're holding on to what is familiar while reaching for what is possible. You're trying to honor the truth, that stirring that you feel, while also trying to maintain the comfort that you currently have. You're saying, I'm fine, while your body is screaming from the inside out, no, we're not. And that emotional toll is so real. I remember seasons where I was physically exhausted, and it was not because I was doing too much, but it was because I was avoiding the decision. Avoidance drains you way more than action ever will. Right before I left corporate, I spent months in the gray zone. I would get to the end of the week and I would be thinking, I know this isn't it. I would sit in meetings and I would feel that internal nudge again that, okay, I've been here, I've done this, I'm over this, I've outgrown this. But then the noise would rush in and it would be like, not yet. Be grateful. You don't have another plan. What if you regret this? So I stayed and I stayed and I stayed. Not because it was aligned any longer, but because I wanted to avoid at all costs stepping away from the comfort of the familiar. And let me tell you, that was the most draining season of all. It was the in between. That's what exhausted me. The gray zone, it creates fake confusion. But here's what I saw with myself and what I'm seeing with my clients is that most people in the gray zone, they're not actually confused. They're scared. They're downright terrified and almost paralyzed to make a choice. Confusion just becomes a convenient holding place because it feels safer than an actual commitment. If you say you're confused, then you don't have to choose yet. If you say, I'm unsure of my next step, then you don't have to take your next step, right? But underneath it, you already know. The gray zone is simply where you go to delay the truth that you're not ready to act on yet. So let's break down the psychological perspective here. Basically, your mind hates uncertainty. Your nervous system wants closure, it wants comfort, while your brain is sitting there and it also wants a decision. So when there's no decision, you're burning energy trying to hold almost all of the possibilities at once. It's like having 47 browser tabs open, but none of them can actually load. I hear it said this way all the time where it's like, I feel like I'm constantly spinning. I'm not moving forward, but I'm not going backwards. I don't really know, Britt. Exactly. Like that right there, that's the psychological weight of an indecision. That is the gray zone. You're moving everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So, how do you get out of the gray zone? This part might surprise you. You don't get out of the gray zone by knowing the entire plan. You get out by making one decision at a time, not 10 decisions, not the whole timeline, not the whole business strategy, not every financial detail, just one. Decisions create clarity, action creates momentum, and momentum quiets the noise. You don't need to leap, you just need to stop straddling two worlds. Here's the simplest, fastest way to start moving out of the gray. Ask yourself this. Ready? If I had to choose today, yes or no? Okay, yes or no. Literally, there are only two options you choose in this particular scenario. If I had to choose today, what would I choose? Not forever, not permanently, not with every detail ironed out, just for today. Would I do that thing? Yes or no? Your first initial answer, that's the truth. Everything else that comes after that, that's just noise. So then you get to ask yourself, what is one action that supports that yes? Or if you happen to say no, then what is one boundary that supports the no? That's it. One decision at a time. I want you to hear this. You're not failing because you feel stuck. You're not falling behind. You're not weak for being in the gray zone, even if you've been there for a very long time. You are human. You are growing. You are in the tension between your old identity and your new one. The gray zone is just a chapter. It is not the final destination or your whole story. And you, my friend, you are already so much closer to clarity than you think. If this episode felt like it was speaking directly to you, check out the show notes for a link to connect with me. I will send you something simple to help you move from this mind swirl and into real clarity. Next week, we step into episode 3, which is all about choosing yourself, which is where the real identity shift starts to happen. So until next time, bye. Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode. It means the world to me that you're here to ride in the struggle bus with me and that you're willing to consider different perspectives, tools, and techniques that just might provide a little bit of relief and get you one step closer to the abundance that is available and waiting for us all. I hope you take a moment to grant yourself some grace where you've been denying it, some love where you didn't realize maybe it was right in front of you, and some faith where you thought all was lost. If this episode had an impact on you, would you please share a comment with a review? I'd love to hear what landed for you, and it helps us get the word out to our fellow struggle bus riders. So please review what was impactful for you. Just know these episodes are a pure labor of love in a space where I'm growing alongside you. I'm evolving every day, and I look forward to all the ways and the things and the perspectives and opinions and choices that will change over the course of time in my own life, day to day. Until next time, just know that you are loved, you are divinely cared for, and in the struggle, the journey of this life really is beautiful. I'm glad that we're in it together. Cheers.